Let's try this. Hello, Facebook. It's Ingrid here. If you can hear me, which I think you can, I'm getting little sounds to say that I can. This is my third time going live here on Facebook today, and I wanted to do my video because it's Tuesday, and that means it's BizTalk Tuesday, and you know, it's what I do. So if you're watching me live, please go ahead and write in the comments and let me know I can hear you or no I can't, because I really don't want to talk to myself for the third time today. I mean, I'm going to be talking to myself anyway. My kids are here, so you know, I just talk to myself. They don't listen. Anyway, today it is BizTalk Tuesday, and typically I go live early morning every Tuesday morning, about 10 o'clock. Today it is almost 5 o'clock here in Atlanta, Georgia. So what we talk about here is business tips and marketing strategy for creative entrepreneurs and coaches. My name is Ingrid Owens. I am a business coach and a marketing strategist. And this week, what I've been talking about on my Instagram and the show about today is all about positioning. Hey, Linda. Yay. Thank you. I bet you thought it was you earlier on this morning if you were watching. I didn't even realize it until I went to listen back and type something out, and I was like, there's something wrong. And I tried it again. It still isn't working. So trying it a different way, because we've got to keep going, got to keep going, and got to keep showing up, right? So today what I wanted to talk about is one of the 5 P's of the marketing mix, and that is positioning. Now, the marketing mix are those very basic component parts of what goes in to make up your marketing plan. So we've got promotion, place, pricing, people, and positioning. Okay, I think that's right. I think I've got them in the right order right now. Sometimes you see 7 P's, and so that'll work too. But positioning is one that's not quite often talked about, at least in online spaces, because it is a more traditional concept, and a lot of people who haven't done a formal business plan or a formal marketing plan might not even considered positioning, especially as creatives, right? We just get out there, we start doing our thing. Blah, blah, blah. So the basic premise of positioning is that place that you occupy in the marketplace, right? That position that you occupy in the marketplace. So I mentioned, I think, on one of my other Instagrams, and if you're not watching me on Instagram or not following me on Instagram, I've started to do these little 1-minute business tips, which I really enjoy because they're so easy to create the content, and I'm being consistent with that, at least for now. So that's something that you can check out. But one of the things that we talk about, and when we were at school in marketing, we do a lot of case studies. And so we see how things are applied, and, again, going back to last week, applying this hat of a scientist when you run a marketing campaign. But our professor, this one for some reason always stuck out in my mind. The professor asked us what business we thought that Parker Pens were in. Now, Parker Pens, if you don't know the brand, they make pens for writing with, not pins, pens for writing. But they're typically like a silver pen or a gold pen, or, they come in a fancy box and a case, and they're all like kind of, velour on the inside, and usually a ribbon or something, and you can get them engraved, right? So they're a pen, yes, but they're not necessarily just a writing implement. And the whole thing behind this that the professor was trying to get us to understand is that Parker Pens are not in the pen industry. They're in the business of gifts, right? They're in the gift business. And knowing that positioning has really transformed their marketing, because they're not competing with other pen manufacturers. Yes, I can write with this. I can write with a quill and ink. I can write with, a pencil, but that's not who they're competing against. They're competing against other people who who can sell somebody a gift, maybe for a graduation or for a retirement or something like that. The Parker pens aren't extreme, like they're not as expensive as a Cross pen. I think they're a little bit cheaper. So we were given them, I remember when I turned 18. So, or for maybe a 21st or graduation. So they're that kind of a gift, right? But they're in the gift business, and that positioning can totally change your marketing plan. So it's a bit like being more niche, or, figuring out who your niche is. The whole concept behind positioning is, if the more targeted that you can be, and you know who actually is buying your product and why they're buying your product, can change your marketing, right? So if you consider yourself a photographer who does weddings and birthdays and portraits and babies and the whole thing, think a little bit more about it, especially if you've decided that maybe you're going to go into wedding photography, because you're not just a photographer, right? You're a wedding photographer. You're not just in the photography industry, you're in the wedding industry, right? And that's a whole completely different ballgame. A bride and groom who are investing in their wedding have a certain budget, right? Mostly, right? At least they should have, whether real or imagined, right? They have a budget. And so their choice isn't necessarily, how much money am I going to spend on this wedding photographer? It's like, how am I going to spend how can I spend this much money on a wedding photographer versus the makeup artist, or versus the flowers, or versus the cake? That budget has to transcend all of the pieces of the wedding, right? So your competition isn't necessarily other photographers, although in some regards it is, but it's also you positioning that your service is just as important as flowers. It will certainly last a lot longer. It is one of the only things, right, that lasts at the end of a wedding. And you're positioning it against these other services so that it stands up higher in your prospects, frame of mind or frame of reference, because that's actually what you're competing against, not necessarily another photographer or another, a wedding artist, a wedding portrait artist, right? Does that make sense? Has anybody got any questions about that? I see we've got a couple of people on here, so I'm so grateful that you can hear me this time. And I'm so grateful for the people that stuck with me last time, even though they couldn't hear me. I think I'm not really sure what went on. I've tried it again a couple of times since. So, I think it's Facebook. We'll just blame Facebook again, right? So positioning is really important part of your marketing mix. It's good to know, are you in the gift business? Are you in the home decor business? Are you in, the hobby craft business? What is it, the business that you're in? And where are people spending their time and attention if they're not spending it on your products and on your services and on your brand, right? You got to really kind of think about that. You got to dig deep. Always remaining that scientist, remaining that marketer, with keeping the story out of it, right? Keeping the brain stories out of it, and remaining objective. And if something's not working, try it again and try a different tact. Now, when we're talking about positioning, I'll give you a little bit of a tip. One of the ways that you could really kind of hone in on this, if you are active on Instagram, I've been really enjoying Instagram lately, and I've been getting a lot of success with it, in terms of making a lot more connections, increasing my followers, whatever that actually means, right? And it has been by really carefully playing with and changing up and researching my hashtags, and really using hashtags that I feel that my prospective customer is using, right? And my prospective client is using, as opposed to sometimes we can be thinking about our hashtags in terms of what we're who we think we are in the group that we belong to, and that's not necessarily what our person's looking for, right? So that's just a little kind of a takeaway, that if you are on Instagram, that you can think about that. Really dig deep into your hashtags. You don't want hashtags that are terribly big as well, because you just don't stand out there. But think about what that person is looking for. You know, are they looking for gifts? Are they looking for Christmas gifts? Are they looking for Mother's Day gifts? Are they looking for Valentine's Day gifts? Whatever is that, what, you know, where you're positioned will really help. So that's just one way that you can kind of use and utilize positioning to really hone your marketing message. And like I said, that's why it's one of those crucial P's, one of those crucial 5 P's that you build your whole marketing plan around. So if you are thinking about, you know, bringing your business to the next level here in 2019, why these things happen when I'm on the phone. If you are thinking, start again, take 17 today. If you're thinking about bringing your business to the next level in 2019 even, and you are looking for more than just a course, you're looking for more than just information, you want some support, some one-on-one support, I do have some openings for one-on-one coaching spots available. And I have a new program that is a shorter length program than my 6-month mentorship. So I'm now offering a 3-month program as well, called the Profitable Creative. And of course, that can be extended if you need to, but what we're really going to work on is getting your business profitable and getting your sales in the door, really kind of honing in on that marketing plan, really seeing what's working and throwing out what's not. And if you are interested in joining me for that program or for any other program, I'd love if you would let me know, reach out, let's have a strategy call. Even if you did never do a program, we can still do a strategy call together and figure out something that's holding you back, and you know, you can get a lot of clarity for that. So I will drop that link below. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to go ahead and write #replay. Let me know that you are on here watching back. I'd love to be able to say thank you for watching. And if you've got any questions, of course, address them. And I will be back here next Tuesday, if not before, getting ready for the holidays. Tuesday's Christmas Eve. Oh my gosh. I should be back here Tuesday. Fingers crossed. Maybe I'll pop in here before that as well. Probably not at 5 o'clock in the evening, but you never know because it's Christmas. So in the meantime, have an awesome week. Don't let the rest of 2018 go. Don't let it slide. There's still a lot of time there to reach those goals, and at least put the perfect plan in place for 2019. Have an awesome rest of the week, and I will talk to you soon.